So today we're going to do the Foo Fighters. We're going to do Everlong, one of my favorite songs. Not a hard song to play really, a little bit of practice, but not terribly hard to play. We're going to play it with a few little embellishments. There's a few little things I add to it that you won't hear on the version that you might hear on the that the Foo Fighters do. But I'll point those things out along the way, and let's get started. So the first thing about the song you're going to want to make sure you're doing is you're going to play this in what's called drop D tuning. So basically, your E string here, your bottom E is tuned to D. So I've tuned this to D instead of E. The rest of the strings are all the same. You've got your A string, your D string, G, B, and then your high E here. But this string here you want to tune to D. So you've tuned to drop D tuning on your E string here, and now you're ready to play. And the song starts off with this little riff here. Okay, so and basically at its core what you're playing is you're starting here where you're playing an open D, and then you're putting your first finger here on the number 9 on the 9th fret of the A string, and your number 3 finger here on the 11th fret of the D string, and you're just playing these 3 strings here. Okay, so you're not gonna play those guys down there, just these 3. So you're playing here, then after that you bar the 9th fret, right? Then you slide the whole configuration down here to the 5th and the 7th fret, and then you're back to the 9th fret. So again, you're here, right? And then you bar the 9th fret, then you're back down to the 5th and the 7th fret, and then you slide back up. So if you break this down, you're gonna these 3 strings, right? You're gonna play these 3 strings, and what I like to do is I'll play the open D here like 3 times. Then I'll strum all 3 of those strings. Right? So just going, and it's all downstrokes. It's not very complex there. It's just downstrokes. And I like to lift up on the strings here too. I don't know if that really makes much a difference, but I kind of feel that in the song, so I'll go. So when I play all 3 strings, I press down and then I lift up really quick. Right? And then I'll bar this. I'll do the same thing, 3 strokes here. And I'll lift up here after I play those 3 times on the D, on the D string here on the. And then I slide down. I'll slide back up. And I like to add in this little pinky here on the 12th fret. You don't have to. I don't believe he does in the album, but I think it's kind of cool, so I add it in. I like to add a little more in the intro as well. I'll do something like this. There I just kind of added in this little piece where I'm just going. I'm just playing the D string here. And I'm pressing down on the 9th fret and the 11th fret, and lifting up, and I don't know if you can hear that. So I'm just going. And then I do the same thing barred. I press down, I bar it, and I lift up. and that little pinky. Doesn't do these things on the record, but I think it's kind of cool if you're playing, you know, by yourself and you don't have a whole, you know, band with a bunch of effects pedals and such. You can, you know, kind of simulate here by, you know, doing things like this to the song. So you. Okay, so then you go into the verse. So after you're playing the intro a few times, it goes the same riff continues on with the verse. Hello, I've waited here for you. Everlong. And that continues on. The verse goes for a few more bars, and then you go into the chorus. In the chorus, you're playing octaves. You're taking your number 1 finger and you're putting it on the 4th fret of the A string, and then you're taking your number 3 finger and you're putting it on the 6th fret of the G string, and then you're muting this string, you're muting the D string here with this number 1 finger, because you want to play the open D here, and then this string, sorry, and then you're going to mute this guy here with this finger here. Otherwise, it's gonna. If you don't mute it, it's gonna sound like kind of funky. So you're gonna like mute again. You're gonna press down here the number 1 finger on the A string. Also use this finger though to mute the D string. Press on the number 3 finger here on the 6th fret of the G string, and then you're playing like this. Right? You're just playing those 4 strings. So you're gonna play all downstrokes. So it just goes. So like this, basically you're basically taking this whole, you're playing octaves all the way up here. You're playing the 4th and the 6th, then you're playing the 5th and the 7th, then you're playing the 7th and 9th, and then you're playing the 9th, 11th, and then you're playing the next fret up, back down, and then I play here. So I play one open little transition chord there, just open all strings and here, so it sounds like. So again, we're starting here in the 4th and 6th frets. We're going 5th and 7th, 7th and 9th, 9th and 11th, 10th and 12th, 9th and 11th, open, and then you bar these. This 5th fret, this 7th fret here, just playing these 3 strings. Tempo, it's like. Then he does it again, but he adds to it. He goes, and then up here. Now that's something I kind of add. He actually doesn't do that on the album. I'm adding him. Cut this extra little like up here, just because I think it sounds kind of cool. So it's 4 and 6, 5 and 7, 7 and 9, 9 and 11 then, and then up here. And then you're going 13 and 15. So again, it's here, here. Up to tempo, it's like. And I wonder. I sing along with you. It goes into. So you're putting your number 1 finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, and then your number 3 and number 4 finger on the 4th fret of the D and the G string, and you're just playing these 4 strings here. If anything could ever, and then I'm going barring the 5th fret, just playing these 3 strings. If anything could and then I'm playing the number 1 finger on the 5th fret of the A string, the 7th fret and of the D and the G string. So once again I'm going. So it's, if anything could ever be this real forever. Not sure if those are the exact words, but if anything could ever feel this good again. Now there he stops there, but I like to add on a few extra chords there. I'll go. Anything could ever be this real forever. And I jump up here. I keep the whole configuration, jump up here to the 7th and 9th fret. So I'll go. Anything could ever be this real forever. He doesn't do it on the album, but I like to do that. Then he goes back. Anything could ever be this good again. He doesn't do that either, but I like to add that in. I'm at the 5th and 7th frets, and I slide up to the 7th and 9th frets. These 4 strings, right? And I'm just going number 1 finger here on the 7th fret, number 3 and number 4 finger on the 9th frets. So then I end up here. So I go 7, 9, then 9, 11. So once again, it's just going to be anything could ever be this real forever. Anything could ever be this real again. Only thing I'll ever ask of you, gotta promise not to stop when I say when. So up to speed. Only thing I'll ever ask of you, you gotta promise not to stop when I say when. She sang. And then you're back into the same riff as the beginning and as all the verses. Then you play that 2 verses, right? You go through 2 verses. The second time you go back into this, only thing I'll ever ask of you, gotta promise not to stop when I say when. She said. When you go back into this riff, it comes down low. If you notice, the song comes down really low. So what I like to do is I like to pick out some individual notes. So I'll go like. So I just pick out little individual notes, and you don't have to do that, but that's something you can do. Finally you get to the ending, and the ending's octaves like we kind of did earlier in the chorus. So we're just starting here with the number 1 finger on the 4th fret of the A string, number 6, and then we have our number 3 finger on the 6th fret of the G string, and we're playing octaves. We're muting this string right here, this G string. Sorry, this D string right here we're muting. So we're going. So 4, 6, 5, 7, 7, 9, 9, 11. Just like that. Just like this. And I just kind of end it like that, where I'll just go.